Okay, now we're going to go into how to record a bill that you're paying right away. So in other words, you don't want to set it up as a payable to be paid at a later date. You want to pay it immediately. So the way you do this is you go into banking and write checks, and then you will choose from your vendors that you can either set up on the fly, which is you go right to the top, add new vendor, okay, and then you can enter all that information that I had mentioned earlier. And you know, if it's just a one-time vendor and you're handwriting the check in the envelope, you don't really need all the address, but it might be a good idea to have as much detail as you have it available on the invoice. So we choose the vendor that we want to pay, and we go into, this is to write a check, and you're going to be recording the check and the expense all in one shot. So you're going to take the to be printed off, and you're going to enter your check number here, unless you do need to print it with, if you have computerized checks, then you will check off this box. But most people that are just starting out have the first set of checks are usually handwritten. So you just put in your check number that you're using, the date you're paying it, and the total amount of the invoice. So if it's $525, then you would select your account down here and choose from your expenses and say it's marketing, and then you would have exempt because you don't have any, you're not doing taxes at all. Have your amount, $525, and then if you want to have detail, you can either put it in this memo line, which will show up on a printed check, or if you just want it for internal purposes, you'd put it in this memo line. So you could have brochures or whatever the expense detail is. Just for further reference, you can look back on it and see what you purchased. So then you just go save and close, and now that one is going to be recorded as a check and an expense, and it will not affect accounts payable whatsoever. Similarly, if you are paying by credit card, you'll still go into enter credit card charges, and it'll default to your credit card accounts, or you can set up a new one. I sometimes like to set it up as a bank instead of a credit card, and then I will just put in, which I think we've already set up earlier, but this way, RBC Visa, this way we can pay it through our vendors. When we go to pay the bills, we can select the Visa through this method rather than putting in a credit card. But either way will work. You can set it up on your own or use the credit card module there. So then, oh,